It was January 31st, 1968, at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's when the shelling began. I was in Vietnam, had been there for 3 months, and was stationed as a supply officer at headquarters, 2 Field Force. We were in 3 Corps, 25 miles northeast of Saigon. As you know, the war was divided into 4 Corps. 3 Corps had the most Americans and American troops in it. This was the beginning of the Tet Offensive. It was a coordinated attack up and down South Vietnam, 300 places, and it was a complete surprise. Unfortunately, our intelligence officers had not determined that an attack was imminent. We were at the headquarters attacked by 300 North Vietnamese. They were held off by a very brave gentleman troop with an M60 machine gun until the Cobras from Ben Hoa Air Base arrived. We were in a precarious position. There was a lot of activity, hostile activity in the entire area. 14 hours later, help came. The 11th Armored Cav, all 3 regiments, came together with an Australian group, tank commanders, and they ringed our headquarters. This was an extraordinary moment. They came in armored personnel carriers, APCs, and for 2 weeks, they held off the Vietnamese forces in the area and they prevented them from breaking through. So believe me, when they showed up, it was a very emotional moment for me and everyone else at the headquarters, because we thought we were in a very friendly place, but we needed security and they provided it. During that time, I got to know one of the members of the Australian regiment, one of the tank drivers. He was also a lieutenant. And when he left 2 weeks later and their mission was completed, he gave me this hat, which is a black beret with his regiment's insignia on it. And to this day, I display it prominently in my office. It's a very valuable and prized possession of mine. I didn't know this man before January of 1968, and unfortunately, I haven't been able to keep up with him since, but I salute him. Because in that specific place, at that specific time, 56 years ago, he and his fellow soldiers stepped up into my life and helped protect it. Who knows how things would have turned out without him. I'm here now in part because of him and his compatriots. So this is a story of service that's very personal to me, and there are many more I know that are personal to you that often go unrecognized, unrecorded, and it's really why my spouse and I, Lin, founded WeSalute, Veterans Advantage, 25 years ago. A new name represents a new uniform, but not a new mission. Our mission remains the same, which will always be to provide you, those who have served, and your family members with a real thank you. But partnering with brands that recognize and acknowledge and honor your service, and advocating for you at every level. And every time I look at that beret, I'm not just reminded of his service, but also of yours and your family members. So on behalf of Lin and myself, we salute you.